Okay, hope everybody's doing good. Yeah, just in the house. So, well, I'll tell you what, everybody knows that we're going to have an outbreak today, or most people know we're going to have an outbreak here in Oklahoma today. We've got a moderate risk, a large moderate risk from the Storm Prediction Center, and it looks like things are probably about a couple hours away from things getting ready to go nuts out here. So anyway, here we go. So big, large, moderate risk covers most of Oklahoma, north of I-44, along I-40, all the way down southern Oklahoma. Huge slight, huge enhanced risk. It's just cut right to it. Let's talk about tornadoes today. There's going to be a lot of different things. So we've got a 15% hatch. This is going to be an outbreak of both tornadoes, some significant, some very damaging tornadoes, long track tornadoes are going to come out of southwest Oklahoma, parallel and either side of the I-44 corridor. So they're going to start in southwest Oklahoma, where I'm at now, just north of Lawton. They're going to break out here around probably 5, 6, 7 o'clock in southwest Oklahoma here. That's going to be Altus, Lawton area. And then they rapidly are going to move northeast at about 50 miles an hour up toward the metro area as you get into toward that 8, 9 o'clock time frame toward Oklahoma City. And I'm just going to, and then we're going to, obviously, we're going to have very damaging winds. Looks like they got a 45% hatch damaging winds from Oklahoma City Metro up to Tulsa. As we get into this evening, after dark, 7, 8 o'clock, we have about a 70 to 75 knot low-level jet at 5,000 feet out of the south from I-35 east. So as this line moves east, as well as the damaging winds and tornadic supercells, just the straight line winds from the winds being about 80 miles an hour and about 5,000 feet above our heads over eastern Oklahoma, just the momentum of storms and the outflow winds of the storms come down is going to produce damaging winds just with that alone, let alone a tornado, right? So, one of the things we're going to show you here is some of the models. This is the HRRR model, and the HRRR model, all the models are about the same. All the cams have been very similar to the same all day, all night, and basically what they continue to show overnight is just showing you where this best chance of storms are holistically. Doesn't mean it's going to be exactly on I-44 here, but you get the general idea. I could show you 6 different cams. All the cams are very concentrated in southwest Oklahoma, up over the Oklahoma City metro area, some north, some on the south side, and then up to 44, just south of 44, into the Tulsa metro areas. We get toward 10 or 11 o'clock. So these storms back here will probably more likely above the go over the cold front back to the northwest here, and I'll show you out here in a minute. The front is lying back out in this area, and right now it's getting very warm and humid now, and on satellite things are rapidly changing. I can tell you pressure's falling. I'm down here and it's going to be hard to see exactly, but we're basically, here's Oklahoma City. We got Lawton down here, back, and there's Altus back here, and you see the upper energy starting to come out now in southwest Oklahoma. The upper dynamics are coming out of the Texas Panhandle back here west of Childers, and here comes the major forcing now, and I got Tower and Q bubbling hard now on the Texas-Oklahoma border from Childers, Sayre, Shamrock, all the way down to Childers here, and southward down probably to the northwest to Abilene. So you got upward motion coming out. Also, we've got Q swelling across all of southern Oklahoma. We've got a strong low-level jet developing now from the Wichita Falls area through Lawton up into Comanche and Caddo County. If you pay particular attention to these counties right here, we got some gravity waves going by. Those are mid-level clouds moving rapidly to the east. You see they're moving east at about probably 50 to 60 miles an hour at about probably 10,000 feet. You look at the upward motion now. Look at the clouds rising now. The upward motion's coming out. This is rise in the atmosphere, and the jet splits over southwest Oklahoma and upper level. So you can see the clouds are rapidly enhancing now. This Comanche, Caddo County. You got Canadian County out here, El Reno up in this area, Okarche. So all the clouds are starting to lift and give an expansion up here. And that's because pressure's dropping and the winds are backing across southwest Oklahoma. And if we go... this is storm mesoscale environment. If we just go look at it right now, let's go here right now. Look at this. Got 84, 56, 80, 50 in Childers. So the southwest wind, they got the draw line. It's 56, a little bit lower, very warm temps, 85 down here. But as we go just east over Fort Sill, the Fort Sill radar, that's FDR, Frederick, it's 83, 65, due south wind. Pressure's falling. Got about 3 millibar pressure fall, all in south central and southeast Oklahoma. And the winds are backing now down here at Chillicothe, Wichita Falls. The winds are backing now, 85, 65, 82, 67, 82, 66 at Ardmore. So you got very warm, very deep moisture now surging into southwest Oklahoma. So as these winds back, you're going to get a really nice situation in southwest Oklahoma where you're going to have a lot of the winds are going to back, and they're going to wrap that moisture. I'm going to show you that in a minute. So we're going to wrap this moisture back into southwest Oklahoma as this developing mesolow is forming in southwest Oklahoma over the next 3 or 4 hours, and then it's going to intensify and lift northeast into central Oklahoma as the afternoon goes on. And one of the things that is pretty compelling is we jump forward here. This is a supercell composite, and we'll just go up here 6 hours. Let me back up here. Let me get rid of one thing here. Give me just a second. Turn off the enhancement, and let's go back over to supercell composite, and let's go to 6 hours forward. Let's go to around 0Z. That should be 7 o'clock. Yeah, that's 8 o'clock. Let's back it up 2 hours. And right there, looking southwest Oklahoma, it's supercell composite. So it's telling you everything's focused here in southern Caddo County, just to the north and west of Lawton, to the east of Hobart, and back south of El Reno, southwest Oklahoma City Metro. And then if we go in here and let's look at tornado fixed layer, and let's go ahead about 4 hours to 6 hours, you see you got lots of big, tornado parameters are skyrocketing right here. This is going to be northwest of Lawton, southwest of Oklahoma City. You go out 6 hours and let's see what it jumps up to. It's going to jump on up in here. There you go, 5 over Oklahoma City Metro, okay? So if you have the radar on at that time, you're going to see there's a lot of good storms in the area. Got 3,000 capes roughly in southwest Oklahoma in about 2 hours. The winds are coming out. Look at the winds here. They turn east-southeast, and the surface flow is right here, and it's going to go up this boundary toward Oklahoma City, and that's what's going to produce the tornadoes. So if we let me do this here, let me turn radar on, and watch this. Let's go to radar, and let's go back to tornado, and let's get back here to effective layer. Let's go to 4 hours, and look what's going on. See these two big supercells back at her, a line of supercells forming. And you can see the surface flow here. Look at the storms are rotating around. And see, this is the surface flow, and the winds are backed. And what it's doing is these storms are moving east-northeast into this deep east wind over here to the northeast of surface flow. And you're going to start producing tornadoes. It's going to be Caddo County, Comanche County, going into probably Canadian County, and then eventually Oklahoma County. As you go in toward the Norman area, you go into the southwest suburbs of Oklahoma City as the evening goes on. So that's what we're looking at. And as those storms continue to move northeast, look how these tornado parameters continue to stay with these batch of supercells and tornadic storms moving to central Oklahoma and extends all the way up to Tulsa. So as you get after 8 o'clock, we're passing the Oklahoma City Metro, and now we're starting to make that tornado surge up into the Tulsa Metro area as we get closer to that 10 o'clock area. So 10 o'clock, that area is going to move northeast. If we go out here and we just look outside, I'm in southwest Oklahoma, and I can tell you, it was totally, partly cloudy about, an hour ago, driving down from Oklahoma City. Wasn't too bad, and now we have clouds are picking up and they're thickening up, and I can tell you this, in the last probably 30 minutes I'm getting bands starting to form, because what's happening is the surface flow is back southwest, and I'm getting transverse bands now starting to form out of the southwest. They're kind of oriented northwest southeast, and he's telling you the winds are backing here, so the flow is increasing. You can see the banding effect now starting to affect. So this is the moisture wrapping around the surface flow. It's gonna wrap these high 65 dew points, upper 60 dew points back to the north of surface flow. The upper dynamics is back to my west. The upper level jet, mid levels, is coming over chillers. So as those upper dynamics and that very strong, powerful upper level system gets into southwest Oklahoma, probably in that 5, 4, 5, 6 o'clock time frame, storms are going to hyper explode back southwest here, 30 to 50 miles. And as they come northeast and east up in these deep east winds, these are going to start producing significant tornadoes, and they're going to develop here, track up toward the metro. They can either be north of the metro, into the south side of the metro. It's really hard to tell exactly, just 5 or 10 miles of the particular track of a storm, and if it's tornado, it's going to make a huge difference on the impacts in the metro. But the risk is moderate. I think there's a very strong indication we're going to have significant damaging tornadoes this afternoon and overnight tonight, which is going to be very dangerous right after dark. Storms moving about 50 miles an hour, producing tornadoes in possibly high populated areas such as Norman, Oklahoma City, probably maybe as far north as Guthrie, Edmond area, and then that tornado storm wave goes up I-44 and approaches the Tulsa Metro as we get closer to 10. And multiple models this afternoon have started saying the Tulsa area threat has increased, has went up since about 11 o'clock today. The tornado threat is increasing for the Tulsa Metro area. I'm going to call it 9:30 till 11:30. The tornado threats have actually increased in the Tulsa Metro. So if you're in the Tulsa Metro area, in the Oklahoma City Metro area, you got to think about charging your phones. You got to think about your storm shelters. You got to be ready, because when these warnings come out and these storms are moving at 50 miles an hour tonight, it's late. You've got damaging tornadoes, and possibly some of these might be significant, and the mean, width-wise, it might be fairly large, like bigger than a quarter mile wide type tornadoes after dark. 50 miles an hour. You have very little time to take shelter. And as the line continues to develop tonight and the draw line back builds into North Texas and Northwest Texas at Wichita Falls, that line is going to move over to the I-35 corridor after the meso-low takes off, tracks up toward Oklahoma City, toward Tulsa. And then as that line back builds, you'll have a smaller line, but still QCL type tornadoes. They'll be embedded within the line as that squall line accelerates to the east across the I-35. But at that time, as you get east of I-35, especially after that 8 p.m., 9 p.m., the low-level jet gets up to about 70 to 75 knots at 5,000 feet out of the south. So the winds are going to be about 80 miles an hour at 5,000 feet above your heads over eastern Oklahoma. So as that line moves in, and it can transport that wind down to the ground, so you may have gusts over 80 across portions of eastern Oklahoma. It'll do the same kind of damage as a small, weak tornado, right? So you don't have to have a tornado. You're going to have just possibly straight line damaging winds. That's why there's a 45% hatch for damaging winds from near Oklahoma City, the west sides of Oklahoma City, all the way up through Tulsa, and all the way up to really far northeast Oklahoma, all the way up to just southwest of Joplin, just to the west of Fayetteville. So those are the areas. As you can see, my clouds here in southwest Oklahoma, they're thickening. The upper levels, we had some Acasolanis come over earlier, and the cooling's coming in. You can tell it at mid-levels, there's cooling coming in. My clouds are thickening now in southwest Oklahoma, which is just a sign that we're going to, before long, we'll start getting Tower and Q. I know there's Tower and Q out on the border, starting to bubble. There's upward motion coming out. So it's just a matter of time before these storms erupt in southwest Oklahoma. And again, we're going to try to chase these storms today as we get from southwest Oklahoma along the I-44 corridor. We're going to make our way back toward the metro, and that's going to be probably near and after dark, right? It'll be after 7:30-ish, 8 o'clock, 8:30 in Oklahoma City Metro. And that's the most dangerous time, that 8:30, 9 o'clock in Oklahoma City Metro. Be on guard. And I can't tell you right now if the storms are going to be producing tornadoes as they go in the metro, but there's a high probability, or at least at the minimum, you're going to have damaging winds and potentially the tornado threat is there, and it could be significant tornadoes. We're not talking about your normal weak type F-Zeros. We could have a few of those tonight, right? But this is a very high-end, moderate event for an October. It's almost near the historic levels as far as this kind of dynamics, this kind of moisture. Everything's kind of perfect in a lot of ways, but a lot of times in order to get these, significant tornadoes, everything's got to be really key. But the key is right around 7 p.m., roughly 7 p.m., as the low-level jet ramps up, the wind's back, you're going to have about a 3-hour window to produce, the atmosphere's going to be ready to produce violent tornadoes, right? And wherever they start, probably back to my southwest here, and as you get toward that 8, 9, 10 o'clock area, there's going to be about 2 or 3 hour window there of significant tornadoes. And unfortunately, that's going to be very close to the Oklahoma City Metro, southwest of Oklahoma City Metro, and south of the Oklahoma City Metro. Chickasha, you got to be on high guards. Chickasha, I think very close to Chickasha, is going to have a high probability of a significant tornado sometime near and after dark. That's the area back southwest of Chickasha. That's the area I'm really concerned about. Chickasha, Norman, Blanchard, that area back southwest of the metro. That's the area you really got to be on guard. When Norman issues warnings this afternoon, you got to get ready and go to shelter. Don't think about it twice. Don't stay in the upper levels of your second floor. Get down to the first floor. Get down in your basements. The other key thing is, today, and I think your kids, you got time to do this right now. The kids go bike riding and they do those kind of things and sports and blades. And let me get my car open here. And I've got a helmet with me today. I always wear a helmet when I'm out, especially on a big outbreak type day. And I think it'd be a good idea if you got time this afternoon to get the kids' helmet and have them handy, right? So I got a little helmet here, and I'll put it on, and so you see, I'm not kidding. So I'll flip it around here, and you can see me. See, get your kid's helmet, have something like this handy. So if you got to go to the shelter, you got to get in the bathroom, have your helmets ready, especially at nighttime. You can't see these tornadoes coming. Football helmet, OU won yesterday. Go OU, that was an awesome game, wasn't it? And anyway, get your helmets from the kids. I would get you, if you don't have a basement, I would start getting your pillows, getting your helmets ready, get them in the interior bathroom, get things wherever you take shelter, whether it's underneath the staircase in the center part of the house, get your pillows ready, get your helmets ready, get your phones charged, get everything ready right now. You've got about 4 to 5 hours before this outbreak starts, and once it starts, you're not gonna have time to look for that stuff. Also, if you ever went through a tornado, I've been through literally thousands of them, and I can tell you, find your checkbook, find your insurance papers, find those things now, not after. If your house gets damaged or unfortunately gets heavily damaged, and try to look for that after the fact. It's very, very difficult. So I would do that, those kind of things now. They're going to pay big dividends later, right? So those are the kind of things I'd be working on right now before this tornado outbreak starts. And it will start this afternoon. And I'll tell you what, the sky is already looking menacing out here with 85, 65 here in southwest Oklahoma. I've got a kind of a southeast wind, about 160 right now, maybe 170. The winds are backing. I can tell the winds are backing now. And I can tell the winds are backing on the obs, and I can visually feel it, and I can tell the winds are more out of the southeast now. Earlier, they're like this direction, and they're kind of coming, they're backing now because the wave's approaching, right? And matter of fact, if you look west of me, look how wide and dark the bases are getting now. The clouds are rising. We've got vertical motion. The clouds are thickening across southwest Oklahoma. And again, this is roughly about 40 miles southwest of Chickasha. Clouds are already thickening, so you know it's just a matter of time before we get initiation back southwest here, and storms get up, and then we're going to, then we're off to the races as these things move northeast at 40 to 50 miles an hour. And unfortunately, they're going to be after dark, which is even makes it much more challenging, not only to see the tornado, but to chase it and to see what's going on, right? So that's kind of a short, sweet, simple. And everybody's been talking about the this particular setup today. And again, we get past this event today. There's also a chance of flooding across northeast Oklahoma, some heavy rain tonight. And then we have a break tomorrow, at least down in the southern plains, as this upper low goes by. It pushes the moisture and everything back down to central Texas. And then late Monday night into Tuesday morning, the warm front surges back from central Texas, back into Oklahoma. And the models are still having a little bit of problem trying to figure out exactly how Tuesday's going to unfold as far as Oklahoma's concerned. But the general idea is maybe some scattered supercells in the afternoon from like Oklahoma City out to Enid, out to northwest Oklahoma. And then as we get into late Tuesday, parts of Nebraska, already western Kansas, northwest Oklahoma's an enhanced risk. Wouldn't be surprised if that gets upgraded later. Because the dynamics are even more powerful than what we have today. And I think there will be significant tornadoes on Tuesday, even though it's kind of be more of an after dark event. Again, it's going to be that 7, 10, 11 o'clock time frame, midnight, whenever the storms erupt up in that area on Tuesday, based on timing right now. But Tuesday looks also extremely volatile. That's going to be more up in northwest Oklahoma. Western Kansas is where I think the more significant tornadoes are going to be on Tuesday. But that's another event we've got to get ready for. And then possibly some other additional severe weather on Thursday and Friday. That's going to be more down in southern Oklahoma and Texas, North Texas, as we get into Thursday and Friday. So a very active week in the southern plains, change of the season. But today's a very high-end moderate, and just got to really be on guard. But I can tell you, things are, you can look at the sky, look how dark it's getting. The clouds are building. They're thickening up, and in just a matter of time before we get initiation here, probably just a couple more hours, and things will get rocking here, okay? So that's a short, sweet, what's going on right now. And you guys stay tuned. We'll plan on streaming live continuous probably once the storms get started. I'm guessing again 6, 7 o'clock, somewhere in that time frame, maybe 5. Whenever they get started, we'll start the stream and we'll be live most of the evening. Okay. Thank you for tuning in. TwisterChasers.com on YouTube. Well, that's the only channel we're going to be live on today. And we appreciate your support and Patreon as well. So anyway, we'll be safe today. And Kathy's back at home, and she's taking care of things there and anticipating possibly even tornadoes moving next year. She's going to chase the stuff in the Tulsa metro area as it comes up there. I'm going to start down here in southwest Oklahoma and stream back that way as I move back northeast. All right? All right. All right. Everybody said hi, and I appreciate everybody checking in this afternoon. Everybody be safe. It's going to be a really crazy day. I promise you. It's going to be a crazy, crazy day here. All right, buddy. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye. Have a great afternoon.